the terminology that some of the registrars have referred to when they were dealing with the birth certificates that were issued, not to be confused with the statement the parents filled out at the hospital. This has nothing to do in reality from this, because it's not an extract from that. Anyways, they refer to them as tokens of value, or a valuable token. So, you know, I looked up one day, of course, in the law dictionary trying to find this and realizing there's something wrong there, because if they really did by act of state induce the evidence of private property onto the public record, which did not belong to the legal state, then they're involved in a tort against the child and against the privacy of private property that does not belong to them, belongs to God, does not belong to the legal state. So looking up token of value, it says see counterfeit. And of course it's all counterfeiting. You're always going to a counter, and people that get frustrated in the system generally argue with the people behind the counter. And I always tell them, don't go up to the counter and have a counterfeit, because that's really what's going on there. You're frustrated and angry because you're unfortunately not in knowledge to know that you have the power to do good and remove your private name out of that public confusion of title. So you're going to throw down the G loves in the title fight and still come out a winner, because you can't lose when you do this, because no one can stop truth. So when we look up Isaiah chapter 44, 24, 25, read it before, but it's always good to say it again, read it again. Isaiah 44, verse 24 and 25 says, "Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer, and he that formed thee from the womb. I am the Lord that maketh all things, that stretches forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself, that frustrateth the tokens of the liars." Now we know the legal liars are behind all this because they've chosen Satan. "And maketh diviners mad, and turneth wise men backward, and maketh their knowledge foolish." So once you've pulled that out, even if you were brought before kings and governors for his name's sake, you will make a fool of them, because simply they don't have the power in any courtroom to use your private name without your consent. So therefore, let's just use the example of John, who was using the title Doe, but now is woke up to truth with God. State your name for the record will come from the Magi Straight, the greatest magicians out there, the warlocks that are there for robbery if you consent. And they will say, state your name for the record. Well, the legal state surname that was assigned to me at time of birth without my consent is Doe. And of course they're going to say, what's your given name? I said, well, wouldn't you be inducing me to commit fraud, to place my private name, which doesn't belong to this public forum courtroom, and induce me to actually trespass on the public title for unjust enrichment? Is that not inducement to commit fraud? You'll watch that judge magistrate run off there so fast into his chambers to have a nice little chamber moment, because he knows he doesn't have that authority. They only have authority to a certain level, only the title that belongs to them. You've just rendered to Caesar what is Caesar. You didn't render to Caesar what belongs to God. Your God-given private Christian name does not belong to the state. Get this through your heart, mind, and soul. Remove it even now from, if you were carrying a statement of birth record, you have the authority right now to take it off that record and black it out, because it doesn't belong to them. And then you can still send your notice, but in the meantime, you've got at least the power of God with you, because he can't help you if you're energizing the very thing that makes you a member of the world kingdoms of Satan. He's getting you into an inducement to do worship to him. And dangerous times are coming. And we're going to talk about that in the next video, of what and how bad things are going to become.